LUNAR TRAILBLAZER and M-2. NASA's latest mission targets Moon mysterious South Pole. NASA's latest technology advances are on their way to the Moon, poised to answer lingering questions ahead of America's next crewed lunar landing and provide important data on lunar resources. The work is being facilitated by NASA's Commercial Lunar Payload Services, CLPS for short, a program to partner the U.S. Space Agency with private companies to deliver science and technology to the lunar surface, and the Artemis campaign, the agency's project to establish a long-term human presence on the Moon. At 7:16 p.m. EST, February 26, the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket carried Intuitive Machines' M-2 mission and LUNAR TRAILBLAZER launched from Launch Complex 39A at the agency's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, with a lander scheduled for March 6th touchdown on the Moon's South Pole. That's in 3 days. NASA's LUNAR TRAILBLAZER and M-2 takeoff. With each CLPS mission, the United States is leading the way in expanding our reach and refining our capabilities, turning what was once dreams into reality, said NASA's acting administrator Janet Petro. These science and technology demonstrations are more than payloads. They represent the foundations for future explorers who will live and work on the Moon. Petro said, by partnering with American industry, we're driving innovation, strengthening our leadership in space, and preparing for sending humans farther into the solar system, including to Mars. Upon landing, CLPS will engage with several specific missions designed to aid human activity on the Moon. These will include one of the first on-site investigations of potentials for resources on the Moon as they attempt to measure any possible presence of volatiles or gases in the lunar soil. Another objective is to set up a permanent point of reference on the Moon to guide future landings and orbital missions through a passive laser retroreflector arm array on the lander's top deck. To further aid long-term plans, the mission will demonstrate a robust surface communication system to facilitate transmissions between objects on the Moon. And finally, they will deploy a drone to hop across the Moon's ragged, rocky surface in search of topographical data. NASA's LUNAR TRAILBLAZER spacecraft also hitched a ride on the Falcon 9 rocket, but will conduct its activities from orbit. Chief among them will be to map water distribution on the Moon thoroughly. Over 2 years, a more robust understanding of where the water is, its form, and changes over time will be collected. This will provide necessary data to identify water cycles on Earth's Moon and airless bodies throughout the solar system. That knowledge can be applied to supporting astronauts and robots on future lunar landings, as well as in more distant missions to other moons in the future. NASA's M-2 mission in depth. Polar Resource Ice Mining Experiment 1, Prime 1 for short, is an experiment designed to ascertain the abundance of lunar resource that will be helpful to future missions. 2 instruments work together on this task: the regolith and ice drill for exploration, new terrains, and the mass spectrometer observing lunar operations. The drill will collect samples from under the lunar surface. At the same time, the mass spectrometer will identify the gas composition of the samples at various depths to determine where resources may reside. 8 retroreflectors make up the laser retroreflector array, allowing precision laser ranging to guide spacecraft around the Moon. As a passive optical instrument, the array is designed to serve lunar missions for the next several decades. Nokia provided the Lunar Surface Communication System, LSCS, through funding from NASA's Tipping Point initiative. The LSCS consists of a 4G LTE system that allows the M-2 lander, a rover, and a drone to share cellular communications on the lunar surface, including high-definition video, command and control images, messages, and sensor data. The system hopes to demonstrate a solution for communication infrastructure and long-term lunar settlements. And finally, the Micro Nova Hopper drone, also funded by Tipping Point, will conduct a high-resolution survey of the lunar surface. The device will hop into shadowy, mysterious areas of the moon that have never been observed and return new data to the lander. Understanding the Lunar Trailblazer. Lunar Trailblazer hopes to finally answer questions about the water on the moon. With a 440-pound satellite about the size of a dishwasher, Trailblazer's mission will be delayed from M-2, requiring months to achieve the correct orbit. Like Prime 1 experiment, the high-resolution volatiles and minerals moons mapper and the lunar thermal mapper will work in tandem to provide optical and thermal data to identify water and how it changes over time. Crucially, the instruments will penetrate the shadowy depths of craters that have not seen sunlight in billions of years, potentially harboring water ice that future lunar missions could use. And this is on the debrief by Ryan Whalen. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.